Kennett at 310. These are towns in Missouri. Cooter, Missouri, Hayti Heights, and Hayti. You've got about 20 to 30 minutes, but you need to go to your safe spot. I should also say, if you are in a mobile home and you have over 10 minutes and you're looking at our storm track, you need to get out of your mobile home and go to a sturdy structure that is the closest to where you live, because mobile homes cannot survive tornadoes. It's just not safe, and that's why we're here to tell you, look, if you've got 10 minutes, if you've got 5 minutes, go ahead and go to a sturdy structure and get out of the mobile home, because that is the danger. Danielle, would you put it on velocity for a second? I just want to take a look at that, and yes, you can see this is what we don't want to see, these bright greens up against bright reds. That indicates tight rotation, and this is a long way away from the radar site, so it's the data is not as good as if it were closer to the radar site. That's just the way it is, but regardless, this is some pretty good signs of rotation, and if there is a tornado, this is where it would be right here. It's going to miss you, Paragould. It's going to continue northeast. I should note that at the current track, it does look like Blytheville, this particular cell, will miss you. However, if you look back to your west and south, there is other activity developing. So you are not out of the woods. We're just talking about with this warning particular, it looks like if there is a tornado, it is going to go north of the town of Blytheville unless it changes directions, and that can happen. Okay, Danielle, thank you. Let's go back to the regular radar. And if any of our automated storm tracks you see pop up, go ahead and click on them. But as we draw out now, this storm track here is, and we like to do that because we want to give you up to the minute, up to the second really, information so you can know where the storm is going. So what are we tracking? Well, a potential tornado. Where is it going? Northeast, and it will be going through these towns right here. What are the impacts going to be? A possible tornado. What can you do to stay safe? You need to go to the lowest level of your home, apartment, whatever building you might be in. Also, I want you to get the word out to any friends or family that are in this warning to take action now. So you can stay safe. Again, that's why we're here, is to help you stay safe and protect you. Not panic, no reason to panic here, but a reason to take action when there is a tornado warning. So the updated storm track here, Zenith at 306. Again, several of these towns are in Missouri. Steele, Missouri at 319, Cooter at 320, Hayti Heights and Hayti 327, 328. So you've got some lead time here, and Caruthersville at 331. Again, tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service. This is our first tornado warning of the day. Everybody is under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. So a watch means that conditions are favorable. It doesn't mean that one has been sighted, but a warning, which we have now, means that either radar is indicating the strong possibility of a tornado on the ground, or the fact that it could come down to the ground at any point. We don't have confirmation now, but we do have a good signature right here of a tornado near Leachville. Now, some of these areas are the same areas that were hit by the tornado that just absolutely tore through Arkansas, the nursing home in Manette, also Leachville. This is right on top of you now. You guys are, we're very sensitive to you guys because we know what happened back in December. So we are trying to help you get through this safely, not panic. No reason to freak out, but we do need to take action and take action now. I want to toss it over to Trevor because he does have those tornado tips up. And Trevor, explain more about that and then the stuff that you've been working on a couple of minutes ago. Go ahead.
And John, I can tell you, you just mentioned Leachville and Monette from December. Luckily, it does not appear right now that there is a tornado on the ground with this storm. That's great news. This does not appear anything like what happened last year as of right now, but there is some rotation in that area. And of course, anytime there's rotation, we want you in your tornado safe place. Again, this is for northern portions of Mississippi County, north of Blytheville, into the Missouri boot heel. We want you to go to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building that you can. Put on your shoes, avoid windows, and stay in that interior room until the tornado warning is expired. Again, this one goes until 3:15. If you're in a car, if you're driving anywhere in this area, we want you to find a more substantial shelter, pull off, and we want you to find a gas station, McDonald's, a bathroom, anything like that. I did want to let you know also the looks like a new tornado warning.
Has been issued.
We're going to break away for a little bit. We've got a new tornado warning. This looks like it's going to be for Mississippi and Poinsett County. This is for, it looks like maybe a little bit further south. I think Danielle's got that pulled up if we want to go over to that. That is going to be in the southern portion of Mississippi County. So really now a good chunk of Mississippi County included in this tornado warning. Let's get a storm track on that. For now, we'll send it over to John. We'll come back with more of these safety tips in just a bit.
Yeah, so things are becoming active, folks, and really I expect this to continue throughout the event, that things will continue to stay active. This could be an extended tornado outbreak. So the new warning that just came across is for Poinsett County, and as Trevor mentioned, also this is going to be now in southern Mississippi County. Blytheville, like we were saying, you're not out of the woods. That first warning does not include you. This second one, however, could, if it extends, if the Weather Service extends it further, you could be under the gun here. Also Manila, so you guys need to go to your safe spots now. Even if technically you're not in the warning, you are in the path of this tornado warned storm. And Danielle, why don't we put a new track on this second tornado warning that has been issued. And I expect things to go fast now, folks. And this is really what we expected as we hit mid-afternoon. Things would, once they started popping, would pop and pop fast. So here is the new track for the second tornado warning that has been issued. Lepanto, it's over to you right now. Etowah at 3:07, Kaiser at 3:12. If you hear your town called, you need to take action and go to your safe spot now. Osceola at 3:23, Dell at 3:25, Luxora at 3:27, Gosnell, again, some of these areas affected back in December were certainly sensitive to you. No reason to freak out here, not trying to panic you, but we are urging you to take action now. Again, if I call your town out, Gosnell at 3:36, Blytheville at 3:36. So yes, you really need to treat this, Blytheville, as if you are in a warning now. And look, here's the deal. Here's the good news. You do have some lead time. I want you, if you're in a mobile home and you have over 10 minutes on this storm track, to go, if you know, to a sturdy structure because mobile homes just cannot survive tornadoes. Look, we're here to relay that information to you, not freak you out, but again, take action so you can be safe and protected. And if you are in any of our other areas watching us right now, not in Northeast Arkansas, we expect activity to pick up as the afternoon goes along, and this could be an extended event. Holland at 3:47, Cooter and Steele. Again, you guys do have significant lead time here, and that's kind of the goal. That's kind of our point, is to give you some lead time. Danielle, do you have some information?
Yeah, I'm going to turn on the velocity for these storms because it says that they're specifically monitoring right here by Lepanto.
Yeah, Lepanto, right here.
Right there. And that is where they are saying that there could be some strong rotation moving right there, as well as this tornado warning. I'm going to zoom up just a little bit here where we're looking right above Leachville. You can see that is a very sharp contrast right there with that red and that green. So you definitely want to be in your safe place there. These storms are definitely, they're rotating. Someone said that they could see it dropping down. So just make sure you're being very weather aware. If you're not in your safe place now, you need to get somewhere and make sure you have something, to cover your head and just prepare yourself. It is a radar indicated, so this is not a confirmed tornado, but just go ahead and prepare yourself now.
Now, Danielle, when you say that people are seeing something coming down, we're talking about the initial tornado warning, is that correct?
Right, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so So we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible, folks, because it's going to get more complicated. But the first tornado warning, this one right here, is where there is a potential lowering in the clouds. Oftentimes that is a sign of a funnel developing, and then once that circulation hits the ground, then it is a tornado. So this is going to be just to the north and east of Leachville, moving northeast. Hornersville, you're in the path of this, and you need to take action immediately. Here is Manila. That is going to stay to your north, but keep in mind, to your south and west is another tornado warning, our second of the day, and now we are hearing of possible funnels developing. We don't have confirmation of any tornadoes on the ground right now. We're working as hard as we can to get new information. And why don't we do this, Danielle? Let's come back out to a 300-mile view. Let's reset to give everybody an idea of what's going on. Because look, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Crittenden County and St. Francis County. This is along the, will you click on that to see, I want to know how long that warning goes until. This warning right here is going to go until 3:30 for Crittenden County. So for Metro Memphis, we are talking about half an hour to an hour before Metro Memphis is affected. DeSoto County, Shelby County, we're talking about a half an hour or so, and then this is going to sweep across the Mississippi River. So I'm telling you that to give you a heads up for anybody that lives in metropolitan Memphis, that this is coming our way. And you need to think now about staying in place if you're watching us, and if you're watching on our app or online, go ahead and get to a safe spot now and ride this storm out. We don't want you to be driving. So I did not want to forget about that. And, look, this severe thunderstorm warning could go to a tornado warning also. So that is a new development and something that we are watching very carefully. And there is a lot of lightning south of I-40 near Forest City. So that is going to be sweeping across Metro Memphis. Just to give everybody here at the station a heads up, and our production crew, it's not going to be long before Metro Memphis is affected, within the next half hour to an hour. So we're watching that line carefully. Trevor, you are, I see you've got Velocity products pulled up. Let's go over to Trevor. And Trevor, tell us what you're looking at right now and the latest that you're seeing.
Well, John, I did want to tell you a little bit about that severe thunderstorm warning. The storm that's coming into Memphis right now doesn't have a tornado warning yet, but the National Weather Service says the threat with that is considerable. Again, not from a tornado, but from wind gusts of 70 miles an hour and quarter-sized hail. So even if we do not have a tornado in Metro Memphis, fingers crossed we don't, the damaging wind gusts and the hail is going to be a big concern. But of course, our biggest concern right now is where we do have those tornado warnings. And I wanted to kind of zoom into Lepanto and show you this area of rotation here. If you've watched the weather long enough, you might recognize this. This is showing the winds inside the storm. Greens are coming toward the radar site in Millington. Reds are going away. So anywhere you see those circling together, that is an area of rotation. That's going to be just to the east of State Highway 140 on the northeastern side of Lepanto, coming into Bondsville, West Ridge, and eventually coming up to where State Highway 140 curves around. I didn't want to forget, though, about that northern portion of this tornado warning in northern Mississippi County. It does look like that area of circulation here over Hornersville, which is getting into the Missouri Boot Heel. So heads up for you if you're watching in the Missouri Boot Heel in Pemiscot County up toward eventually Carruthersville. This is an area that could cause some problems for you later on. But I did want to tell you, at least in the northern portion of Mississippi County, the worst of that rotation, there you see it now moving into southern Missouri. But we've got that second area of circulation in the southern portion of Mississippi County, and then damaging winds all along that line, even where there isn't a tornado warning, John.
Yeah, and to go along with that second tornado warning that is going to be headed near Blytheville, if you know where the Catfish Castle is on the west side of town, which if you live near Blytheville, you know where that is. That is where this shear, in other words, these rotating winds or very high winds are headed. So on the western side of town, Blytheville, that if it holds together. Now, can that change direction? Absolutely. But that appears to be where this rotation is headed right now on the west side of town. Danielle, let's slide down to the second tornado warning right here. That has moved now east and north of Lepanto. And why don't we go ahead and take a look, if we could, at, why don't you pop up shear rate? Now, I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. If you see red colors, that indicates high winds, and we're talking east of Lepanto now. It looks like the worst is east of you, but Osceola, you guys are going to be in the path of this as it moves northeast. These are very strong winds. These are winds that could be rotating, and you are in the path of that if it holds together. Danielle is drawing a new storm track now for you. We love to keep storm tracks on here because that's what we're doing. We're trying to let you know where the storm is going and at what time it might be at your place. Kaiser at 3:08, Osceola at 3:18, so you've got about 16 minutes, but I would take action now, and if you're in a mobile home, get out and get to a sturdy structure. Luxora at 3:23, so that is with the second tornado warning. Danielle, let's go back into Crittenden County right now and put on the radar. I would just want to take a look and see what's going on with that warning because, as we've been talking about, this is going to be affecting Metro Memphis shortly. So we're giving you a heads up. Hey, contact your friends, contact your family, anybody you might know that might not have a clue that there are storms headed this way and they're not that far away. So we want you to get in a spot now and basically shelter in place as these storms get ready to come across the Mississippi River. We're trying to advise you against driving, and we're trying to prepare you now to get into a safe spot. Here is an updated track again. Malden at 3:26. You guys need to go to your safe spot. Also Wardell at 3:21. Kennett, that's going to be in Missouri at 3:09, and Parma at 3:31. So 2 active tornado warnings for Mississippi County. This one right here is about to move out of Mississippi County near Zenith and Kennett, Missouri. But this southern warning right here, where the radar is indicating circulation, is moving toward Osceola and Blytheville. You are in play here as well with this second tornado warning as this nasty storm moves to the north. Can we slide south, Danielle? And let's come on down to a little bit further south. Folks, there is a lot of lightning, and we have a storm track there. There is a lot of lightning over Forest City right now. It does appear that this is now strengthening. Unfortunately, this is coming through at a bad time. We had sunshine earlier, and there's a lot of energy, and we're expecting these storms to develop and continue to develop rapidly. A lot of lightning with this, which is a concern. Here's a track on this one. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. Madison at 3:10, Madison, Arkansas. Widener at 3:11, Edmondson at 3:28, Earl, Arkansas at 3:29, Crawfordsville at 3:31. Again, you're not under a tornado warning, but there is strong indication that one could develop, and our tornado index is at a 3.1. One of the most important things that we do is watch that number. We watch trends to see if it goes up or goes down. And once it starts getting above a 4, that gives us really an extra heads up. Hey, we got to pay attention to this, and we need to let you know that the storm is strengthening. Look at this. If this is correct, which it most likely is, that cell moving northeast at 74 miles an hour. The motion and speed of that alone is going to provide damaging wind. So even if even if you're not going to be under a tornado warning, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. If you are, you need to take it just seriously, because we're talking winds gusting 75, 80 miles per hour. That's dangerous. That can do damage, obviously, to property, and it can be life-threatening if you are upstairs at an apartment, at your home. Even during a severe thunderstorm warning, we want you to come down on the lowest level of your home, because a tornado could develop at any point. Again, tornado number right here at 3.1. Hail, not a huge concern right now, but as these tops continue to grow, that might be a higher concern. Here is, let's go back to that if you could. That was a good storm track, but here's the information. Severe thunderstorm warning that, again, as Trevor alluded to, these could turn into a tornado warning, but I want to let you know, West Memphis, you have just under half an hour until the storm gets to you, so you really need to pay attention and stay with us and watch it as it gets closer to the Walmart. Everybody knows a Walmart. If you live in Crittenden County, where the split is, I-40 and I-55, that is where it's headed. Also Sunset and Marion, Marion being just north of West Memphis, coming to you in just, well, actually just under half an hour. And then Metro Memphis will be in play. Shelby County, DeSoto County, Tipton County, also in the not too distant future. So a very active afternoon is unfolding and developing as expected around this time. Unfortunately, many areas saw a little bit of sunshine earlier today. That's not helping the situation. And this is going to be a long duration event because these storms are now in East Arkansas. They're going to march all the way across our coverage area and into portions of West Tennessee, which are still seeing sunshine, and Northeast Mississippi, and they may get stronger. Yeah, let's go ahead and take it. Let's take that TDOT camera. Oh, this is Osceola, RDOT. Okay, so what you are looking at now is a live picture from Osceola, Arkansas, and again, you can see traffic moving slowly but smoothly. One thing I'm noticing is at the bottom of that picture, the trees and the branches are really blowing, really moving fast, so we know that there's wind there, and also there's obviously heavy rain that can, in and of itself. No, you go ahead, Trevor.
Alcorn County now under a tornado warning, and that's going to go until 3:30. That's for that same storm that's coming out of the Missouri boot heel now that we've been talking about. They've gone ahead and extended that into Dyer County, as well as Obion County, Lake County, and the rest of the Missouri boot heel.
Okay, so brand new tornado warning. This is the third now in a very short period of time. Things are rapidly developing here, and it is an active afternoon. New tornado warning for Dyer County. It does look like this particular one will remain north of Dyersburg, but I caution you, Dyersburg, not to let your guard down, because look what is behind it. That second tornado warning could come into play for you. And notice, there's not a lot going on right now, but you need to assume that that back part of the storm, there's another one to the west, that is coming your way. And you need to think about taking action and, like I said, sheltering in place. If you're anywhere near these storms, we want you to stay safe. And there is a high possibility somewhere this afternoon that a tornado is going to touch down. We are under a level 4 risk. The highest is 5. So we are in the heart of severe weather season right now, and we're in the heart of the season where strong tornadoes can develop. So the brand new track that Danielle has put up here for you, Caruthersville at 319, Ridgely at 327, Tiptonville at 333, 337 in Hornbeak, and Sandburg at 337. Again, if I call any of your towns out, now is the time to take action. Is this a new tornado warning?
Yes.
Yes. All right,
well,
so
2 more.
Okay, so we have a brand new tornado warning. Folks, you need to stay with us now until we give you the clear. that you are out of the woods, and we're not able to do that with anybody just yet. So brand new tornado warning. Danielle,
Yes.
why don't you give us information on this one that just popped south of Dyersburg?
Okay, yes, this one is in effect until 3:45 this afternoon. It's a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado, was located near Kaiser, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour.
All right, so folks, we've got an active situation going on, and it just feels to me like it is going to be a severe weather outbreak type deal. I mean, you see how quickly things are popping and how fast these storms are moving, and this is cause for concern. And that's why we want you to listen to us, take action so you can stay safe, because this is a very serious event, and it's a high threat level, and it's not just your ordinary severe thunderstorm situation. The winds are fast, and they are moving at different directions in all levels of the atmosphere, and the ingredients are there for a severe weather outbreak. And several people saw sunshine today, and that is not good. Let's slide down a little bit further south, Danielle, and why don't you go ahead and put on some velocity products? We hate to ever get too confusing, and I don't want to stay on it too long, but it is good for us to be able to analyze a storm in real time, to let you know what we are looking at. And here's the possibility of if a tornado is on the ground. It is probably just to the north of Osceola, headed in between Ripley, Tennessee, not Mississippi, and Blytheville. Headed to the northeast. It looks like Blytheville, if it does clip you, it's going to be on the southern part of town. And also, sometimes these storms have a tendency, we call them right movers. Sometimes they move northeast, but then turn east. And they're right movers, and that can be dangerous. So I want to watch that trend to see if that occurs. But this new tornado warning now, we have warnings stretching into Tennessee. You can go back to the regular radar mode, Danielle. Again, we're not trying to confuse you. Bright red colors indicate where the strongest activity is. And then you go orange, and then you go yellow, and then you go green. Down on down, and those are the colors that you're looking at. The flashing boxes that you're looking at, the yellow flashing boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. The red flashing boxes are tornado warnings, and so it can get confusing. Let's go back down south now to Crittenden County, Danielle. There is a line, folks, of really nasty thunderstorms here that could contain winds in excess of 75 miles per hour. Hurricane force winds are possible just looking at that. And let's go through this track. Earl at 3:29, Sunset at 3:37, Sunset, Arkansas. Again, the time is now 3:13. So you do have some lead time to get to your place of safety. What are we tracking here? We're tracking a severe thunderstorm with winds capable of doing damage 70, 80 miles an hour, and the storm is moving east. And if I call your town out, it's moving toward you. And what you need to do to stay safe is to be inside a building on the lowest level of that building, apartment complex, office building, house, wherever you might be, and stay in place if I call your town out and remain there until the storm passes away from windows. And you're going to be okay. We'll get you through it. That's why we're here. We're not going anywhere. As long as there are threats like this, we're going to be here all afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warning for St. Francis County until 3:30. This is a little concerning. Our tornado number is still holding at a 4. That's about as high as we've seen it today, and I expect at some point we'll get up to the 6s and 7s. But let me go ahead and call these towns out here. Crawfordsville, 3:35. You have time. West Memphis at 3:40, again, mainly for high winds. Any of these storms could develop into tornadoes. We're already seeing that. Turtle at 3:38, Tyronza at 3:39, and Mark Tree, Arkansas at 3:40. So you are in the path of high winds and a lot of lightning. And the further east that these storms go, the more energy there is. So as they continue to move east, they're probably going to get stronger. And again, West Memphis right here It's not far. This line is not far from you. And eventually, this is going to move into Shelby County. And I mean, it goes without saying, there's going to be a warning issued, at minimum, a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's some lead time for the highly populated area of Shelby County, DeSoto County, also down to the casinos in Tunica County, and up to Tipton County and Fayette County. So there's time. But you need to get to where you're going to be, or you need to stay where you are. Call your friends and family and tell them, hey, look, it's time. It's time to get in a spot and stay in a spot where you can stay safe and ride the storm out. It is simply not worth it. We're talking about your safety and your potential life. Trevor.
Yeah, John, we've got a lot going on here. I just wanted to kind of zoom out and show you a broad view of what is going on. This is across our entire area. We've got this line of storms coming through. A couple of those are capable of producing tornadoes. I wanted to zoom into those because we've got two separate ones, and I know it can be a little confusing. So we've got this storm near Osceola, just to the north of Osceola. We've got some rotation in there. Then we've got another little area of rotation in the Missouri boot heel moving up toward Caruthersville. So talking about that one, if you're in Caruthersville or if you're in northern Dyer County, we're not talking about Dyersburg, but if you are in that extreme northern portion of Dyer County, even into Lake and Obion counties, that is where that possible tornado is going. Down to the south, that possible tornado near Osceola right now, if it is on the ground, it would be crossing I-55. We don't have any information that either one of these are on the ground, but it's at least possible. And again, these are going to be crossing the river soon into Lauderdale County and Dyer County in western Tennessee. This is in Osceola right now, and you can see very heavy rain. Even if you don't have a tornado, we're going to have very heavy rain. Look at the trees at the bottom of your screen. They are gusting.
Has reported a funnel cloud. That at 3:08 near Highway 181. So there's our first confirmation from a trained spotter. This was just a few moments ago, 3 miles southwest of Blytheville.
And so that is going to be another area of rotation, kind of in between Blytheville and Osceola. So bottom line is, if you're in this tornado warning right now, again, that's going to be for Blytheville, Osceola, Caruthersville, even into portions of Lauderdale County. This includes at least the northern portion of Ripley, Tennessee. It's time to be in those tornado safe places. Let's recap them. If you're in those tornado warnings that we just talked about, here's what you need to do. Go to the lowest floor of the building that you're in right now. Don't try to drive. Don't try to go anywhere. Go to that lowest floor. Find a room on the center of your home, away from windows and away from those outside walls. Put on your shoes. Cover your head. And if you're in a car right now, especially on I-55, find the nearest exit and find a building to get into. Don't bother trying to park under an overpass or get into a ditch. Just find that closest building that you can and stay there until this warning has expired. As far as if you're at home, this is a great place to be. That center portion of your home, away from windows, as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay there until this warning is expired. If you're in an apartment building with multiple floors, better make friends with your neighbor quick. Go down there or go to the common area of the apartment, because we don't want you on any upper floors in those buildings. And again, we've also got that storm coming into Memphis. It's not producing a tornado right now, but it is producing a ton of lightning, damaging winds, maybe some hail. So it would be a good idea to get inside and seek shelter from that, even though it's not a tornado right now, John.
Absolutely, because it could turn into a tornado at any point, and even if it doesn't, we've got winds that are causing damage. Danielle, will you turn on the velocity products again, because that, with the report of that funnel cloud. Now, this is not as impressive south of Blytheville, I am happy to say, but still an active tornado warning. Sometimes these things can cycle. They can go up in the clouds, take a break, travel a few miles, and come back down. So that is something that we could be seeing. But reports from a trained spotter of a funnel cloud. And by the way, to the booth, our network of spotters. I know we have at least a couple out there. You can check on that and see if there are any pictures from our spotter network that we have that we could bring to you. Danielle, you're looking at something right now called the threat tracker. Will you explain that to our viewers at home of what you're looking at?
Yes. So I put up the threat tracker to see what's happening on the ground. Obviously, the green is just rain, and then you can see the purple there that's moving through Blytheville. That would be hail. So we are anticipating there being hail as a threat along with this system. Another thing, we have been seeing numerous reports of trees down and things of that nature. The winds have been high with this system as well. Earlier, we were saying that it was moving around 70 miles an hour. That's a fast-moving storm, which means that the winds will be very high. The hail is included in this. We were saying yesterday, I know John and I were both saying that you have to be prepared for all weather threats. All weather threats are on the table for today. So even though you might be at home anticipating the storm making its way towards you, you should definitely be prepared to possibly see some hail. And you can see the purple. This isn't the worst hail we've seen in the last couple of days. We've been watching these severe weather outbreaks throughout the country. We've been seeing hail in Texas that was about 5 inches wide, and that was more of a pinkish color. So this purple means just maybe some smaller hail. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and they continue that. It's a lot of information coming in, John. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning, considerable wind damage threat for Crittenden, Cross, Lee, St. Francis, Arkansas, DeSoto, and Tunica counties in Mississippi, Fayette, and Shelby County, Tennessee. There it is at 4 p.m. And then they also continued the tornado warning for Mississippi County, Arkansas, Dyer, Lauderdale until 3:45, and that's because there is a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado, and it was located over Burdett and over Luxura, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So
okay.
I'm going to put the reflectivity back on for you.
That being said, let's reset. Let's go back to a 300-mile view. By the way, also production crew and booth, we went back and analyzed our last severe weather event and learned some lessons from it. So let's make sure we're rolling on this so we can do our post-analysis and learn lessons. So I wanted to pass that along. So really, folks, things are active now, and damaging winds are almost certain with these cells that are coming through with the warnings. Severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Shelby County as winds that have a history of producing damage, uprooting trees, and also knocking down power lines in Arkansas and in Missouri, by the way. That's going on. And with it being the time that it is, we're now coming up on 3:30 in the afternoon. There is plenty of energy, not only wind dynamic energy, but also just heating of the day. And those two things are combining to create really strong thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms. So far, what we're not seeing is development out ahead of this line, which, look, that's where the strong tornadoes occur. Although this is something interesting to watch. It doesn't look very impressive right now. But down here, this is something we need to watch. I'm starting to see actually some stuff developing out ahead of the main line. That's concerning. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go back into Shelby County, Danielle, and zoom into, why don't we click on this storm track right here. Again, the flashing boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. Notice the tornado index, it's at a 3.6. So we need to watch that number. Here's the updated track on the severe thunderstorm that we're tracking right now and talking about. Edmondson at 329, so just a matter of minutes. Crawfordsville at 343. Again, the towns that I'm calling out right now have a wind damage. That's what you can expect, high winds. You can also expect at any point the possibility of a tornado. There's not one right now that we know of, but look, it can happen at any minute. So we're tracking wind damage headed toward these towns. That's what we're doing. And it is headed toward West Memphis at 346, Sunset, Arkansas at 348, Marion at 348, Southland Park, where the casinos are. Incredible growth over the last several years at Southland Park. And there are people there at all hours of the day. Look, if you're in Shelby County or DeSoto County, you know, anywhere where it's not storming, a lot of people go over to Southland Park at any given time. don't. Because you're going to be driving into severe weather. And Clarkdale, Arkansas, you're in the path of this until 3:51, and now Mud Island. That's why the Weather Service issued this warning out ahead of time. Mud Island at 3:53. So downtown Memphis, we're talking about half an hour before these damage, if not sooner, it could speed up before these winds start to impact Shelby County. That's why the warning has been issued now ahead of time. So we're talking about downtown Memphis before 4 o'clock. And here is another, we've got a lot going on, folks. Let's go back to the tornado. Danielle, if we could slide north a little bit. I want to go back to the tornado warning storm. Just briefly pop on velocity, if you would, because I just want to take a look at that. I don't see anything just incredibly horrible right now. Keep in mind that can change. High winds regardless. You need to remain in your safe spot. Here is an area of concern north of Caruthersville. Again, these warnings are stretching now into Tennessee, and they're going to continue to move east as the afternoon goes along. So we're here giving you lead time, a heads up. There's bad weather in the area. It's coming. We're going to get you through it. But you need to be smart. You need to listen to us. We've been watching this actually for days and days now, knowing it was coming. Danielle.
That is a new tornado warning. And it is for severe thunderstorm producing a tornado. It was located over Jeanette. It's for Crittenden County, Arkansas, Shelby, and Tipton.
Tornado warning just
for
issued
Shelby
now. Folks, pay attention to us here at the station and anywhere where you can hear me. A tornado warning has been issued for Crittenden County and Shelby County now. This storm is southwest of Marion, Arkansas, and it is moving northeast. Tornado warning. This severe thunderstorm warning, as we've been telling you, could happen at any time, has been upgraded to a tornado warning for Crittenden County and Shelby County. Specifically, northern Shelby County, Millington, Bartlett, Harbortown, Uptown, downtown, the medical district in the path of this. Danielle, let's track, if you could put a line on here. Let's manually track. I don't know how fast that was moving.
It's 60 miles an hour.
Okay, so let's track that out and let's keep that track up because these tracks update instantaneously and automatically. And any of these towns that I'm about to call out, there's a storm headed your way that could have a tornado, and we want you to go in your safe spot and take action now to stay safe. Plus, get the word out to your friends and family. Here we go. No reason to panic, but a need to take action immediately. If you don't, look, we're in harm's way here, including the television station, folks. Edmondson at 3:29, Sunset at 3:31, Marion at 3:31. We're talking a matter of minutes. West Memphis at 3:35, Southland Park, the casinos in Arkansas at 3:36. So you've got less than 10 minutes. You must take action now. Mud Island, downtown Memphis, basically, at 3:43, Millington at 3:43, Fraser at 3:44, downtown at 3:44, and the medical district at 3:45. So about 15 minutes or so, plenty of time to take action, but you need to do it now. Again, you want to get down on the first floor of whatever building you're in, away from windows, in the centermost point. And just for the people here at the television station, the control room, if it gets close to us, is not a bad place to go. If nothing else, get under a desk and get away from windows. Get Miss Freddie out of the desk and in here because, look, this is serious stuff, folks. And this has just... Well, let's go to velocity real quick. Leave that storm track up if you don't mind, Danielle. And if you would, just briefly take off the warnings so we can get a better view of velocity. I know it's a lot of information. We're not trying to confuse you. But as Danielle slides back to the south and west here, this is where the area of concern is right now. And it is the time of day, 3:30, really coming through at a bad time. And that sunshine that occurred this morning and early afternoon did not help. It has added energy, and there is a possible tornado developing in any of these towns that we have just called out. And the times are there for you. So you have lead time. but you've got to take action. And this is why we tell you days in advance, know what to do, know where to go. Please don't drive. Don't try to go outside and find the tornado. We want to keep you safe. That is our #1 goal. Our weather team does not scare you unnecessarily. We don't throw out alarm bells for ratings. I can promise you that. That's not what we stand for. But we are serious when there's a serious situation. Obviously now there is with this tornado warning. Cross town. It is going to be in your area in about 15 minutes. Again, folks, these storms are traveling fast, and you need to take action so you can stay safe. But look, stay with us. We're tracking it. We're bringing you all the latest updated information. Dan, can you click on that storm track real quick? I want to see what our tornado number is. It's at a 3.4. We want to keep that as low as possible. 0 the lowest, 10 the highest threat. But regardless, things are probably going to get worse as this line moves further east. And there is an incredible amount of lightning, over 500 strikes just on this view alone. We can go back to regular radar. I know you're multitasking over there. Thank you. But right here, this could be a hail core developing, starting to see some purple colors. And so this is an area of concern right here where a possible tornado is, just to the north of Marion near West Memphis, getting ready to cross the Mississippi River. This is radar indicated, but we are seeing good signs of rotation. Now, especially looking at the radar, I'm noticing a hook developing, and I'm seeing that purple color and pink color telling us that the storm is getting better structure. Even though it is embedded with a line, this is still nasty. Let's go to Trevor.
John, I know we've said tornado warning for Shelby County. I wanted to kind of do a who is in and who is out of the tornado warning, because Shelby County is big and some people are just not included in the warning. So I took off the radar, I took off the lightning, I took off the boxes, just so you can see this red tornado warning polygon. If you are in this red box right now, there is a threat of a tornado and we need you to be in your safe place. We don't have confirmation of a tornado right now, but this storm is showing signs that it could be trying to spin one up. So right now it's over in western Crittenden County, moving to the north and east. This is going to be pretty close to Marion. So over in Crittenden County, Clarkdale, Arkansas, Crawfordsville, Marion, West Memphis, you are in the tornado warning. As far as Shelby County, downtown Memphis, you are in the tornado warning. Uptown, you're in it. Fraser, Raleigh, you're in it. Up toward Cuba, you're in it. Millington, Bartlett, Lakeland, Arlington, you're just about in it. And the northern half of the 240 loop. If you can see some of these roads here, that's Poplar Avenue. There's Highway 78. So if you're north of Highway 78 in the 240 loop, you're included in this. This is going to include Berkeley, Nutbush, and again, into that northern portion of downtown Memphis. Let's talk about who is not included in this tornado warning. The airport area, not included. Whitehaven, you're not included. Germantown and Collierville, you're not included in this, but everybody is involved in the severe thunderstorm warning. So everybody is going to see torrential rain, very gusty winds, and a lot of lightning, but it's these areas in this red box that have the potential of seeing a tornado. So if you are in that red box, I want to recap. Interior floor on the lowest floor you can get to, interior room, I should say, away from windows. Put on your shoes, cover your heads, and do not drive. Nobody should be driving in that tornado warning. Really, nobody should be driving in the city of Memphis right now, because even if you're not impacted by the tornado warning, everybody is going to see very strong winds, a lot of lightning, and heavy rain, John.
Trevor, great to point out also the people who are in the warning and who are not, because the siren system is not perfect. And you may be hearing sirens go off in Collierville or Germantown or any of southern parts of Shelby County. I want to point out that you are not under a tornado warning, Germantown and Collierville. As Trevor said, it is very important to point that out, even though you might be hearing sirens going off. If there is a tornado, and there very well could be, Danielle, why don't we take the lightning off just for a second also, so we can look at this core here. I am seeing a hook echo, folks, and oftentimes when you see that on radar, it is indicative of a tornado. And we have a hook echo. We also have this bright pink and purple color, which is called the hail core part of the storm, and it is really starting to show characteristics of a potential tornado. We have to take it seriously. Marion, Arkansas, got to be in your safe spot. Harbor Town, look, anywhere in downtown Memphis for that matter. The South Main, it doesn't matter. If you're anywhere in downtown Memphis, go to your safe spot right now because a tornado could be crossing the Mississippi River in a matter of minutes. Active tornado warning here. Guys, tell me where we are here on our cameras. This looks like Arkansas. Okay, so this is I-40 west of the Mississippi River from our RDOT connections here. Obviously, traffic going slow. We've been over the drill here with hazards and whatnot, and we'll go over that in a second too. But the point is, you don't need to be on the roads. Please, we're talking about a tornado warning. And even if you're not in the tornado warning, look, damaging winds in excess of 75 to 80 miles per hour. And anybody that is not in the tornado warning, keep in mind you could be at some point. But this is indicative to me of a tornado right here south of Marion, near West Memphis, about to cross the Mississippi River. So if guys in the booth, guys, if we could just take a look at all those cameras, the T-dot, the R-dots that show the bridge, new bridge, old bridge, which the new bridge was built in the 60s, but it's newer than the old bridge. So both of any of these pictures would be good to look at. Right now, you are looking from Arkansas east, and there is our beautiful downtown skyline, the city of Memphis, just a picturesque image as you come across the Mississippi River, just a beautiful part and way to see our city as you come through Arkansas and into Tennessee. Please keep an eye on those cameras. And why don't we click on this, Danielle? Again, purple indicates where the highest threat is right now, and our tornado index is at a 3.8. This storm is moving northeast at 60, and Sunset at 342, Marion at 342. You're in the path of this. Clarkdale at 346, Joyner at 4 o'clock, Millington at 4:01. So we're talking just over 20 minutes for you, Millington, a tornado headed your way, a potential tornado. You need to take action now. We don't need to panic, but we do need to act, and we need to act now. And you need to go to your safe spot and hunker down until we tell you that things are okay. We'll let you know when it's okay, but right now it is not. And any of these towns and places, including Bartlett, need to go to your safe spot now. St. Jude Hospital, is in the path of this, just to give you a perspective of where this storm is and where it's going. An active tornado warning. It cannot be said enough that there are certain parts of Shelby County that are not in this warning where sirens are going off. It's just not perfect. The technology, everybody, officials are working. We're collaborating together to make it better. But in the meantime, it's not perfect. But a tornado could develop in these areas. At the very minimum, wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour are possible. Danielle, let's go to another velocity check of this potential tornado near Marion, Arkansas right now, about to cross the Mississippi River. And this is where we're talking about right here. I mean, it is right on. If there is a tornado, it is right on the Mississippi River right now, about to cross into Tennessee. And specifically northern Shelby County. You do have lead time, Lakeland and Arlington. You are barely outside the tornado warning. It's going to be interesting to see if this will be extended. Now, the good news so far is the only confirmed report, you guys interrupt me if I'm wrong, but the only confirmed report is a funnel cloud that was in Mississippi County. So the longer we can go without reports the better. Danielle, were you about to say something?
Yes, they're continuing the tornado warning now for Shelby, Tipton, and Crittenton, Arkansas, because of the severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located over West Memphis, moving east at 55 miles an hour. So, yeah, if we're in the booth, maybe if we could pull up a cam from West Memphis somewhere to see what's happening over West Memphis right now. If we can see some clouds in the sky. Let's also.
Yeah, if we could go back to that one that Trevor was mentioning, the one where we could see the skyline of Memphis, Arkansas. If you're looking east, coming into Tennessee, that's a good one. Because look, it's not in Shelby County just yet, but it is moving east at 55, and it may be just out ahead of that red color that you're seeing on the map. Guys, keep a very close eye on this camera because it looks like we've got a pretty good static shot.
And there's way too many people driving right now, I want to throw in.
No doubt about it.
Nobody should be driving right now,
Through a
really
tornado
anywhere
warning.
in the metro.
Yeah.
Because this storm is nasty. Even if it's not producing a tornado, it's got the wind, it's got the rain, it's got the hail. Y'all have got to stop driving. If you're trying to commute home, wait 30, 45 minutes and let this thing pass, because it is nasty. It is a nasty storm.
And sometimes you get the calm before the storm. It can be really calm before a tornado comes. And then you start hearing noises. And then you start to see trees, start to blow quickly. So this could be the calm before the tornado right now, but as Trevor said, way too many people driving into a tornado warning, into a possible tornado. I do suspect we'll see these trees start to move more in the coming minutes. Pyramid is going to be on the left side of your television screen. Of course, there's the city of Memphis skyline right there on the right, downtown Memphis, Pyramid on the left, just to give you perspective. But that's scary, all those trucks and cars driving directly into a tornado warning. Really, you want to be going the other way, eastbound, not westbound. But as Trevor said, you don't want to be driving at all in this mess.
That's a new track if you want to go.
Yes, let's do that. Mud Island at 348. Thank you, Danielle. Downtown Memphis, 349. So would you do me a favor and move that box just for a second?
Yes.
As we go through this track, then we can move it back. Thank you. Downtown at 349, we're talking 7 minutes from right now. The medical district at 350, we're talking 8 minutes. Crosstown at 351, coming in 10 minutes. You get the idea here. Downtown in less than 10 minutes now. Fraser at 351, so about 10 minutes. Midtown Memphis, also with the way this storm is moving so fast, 352. Millington, same time, about 10 minutes. Overton Square, 353. Overton Park, where the zoo is, 353, and the Cooper Young District in Midtown at 354. So we're literally talking either just under or just over 10 minutes. You need to take action now and go to your safe spot, as there is a potential tornado about to cross the Mississippi River. Thank goodness we don't have any confirmation from our storm spotters, but we do have our cameras up and we're watching closely. And if there is a tornado, we're likely going to be able to see it with our cameras. And if it's not on the Mississippi River right now, it's dang close. And you need to act. And we've, gosh, guys, is this our 5th tornado warning, I think, of the day, at least? And we are in probably, this is going to be the most active time period for Metro Memphis. It will be getting better after this. Still a long way to go for our entire viewing area, but this active tornado warning for Shelby County, that's why Trevor said, look, just stay where you are. Let the storm pass, because it will. It's going to pass. And actually, the next hour will be the most active for metropolitan Memphis. That is a new track, it looks like. Danielle, can we click over Marion? I'm just curious to see what our tornado number is, if there is a number on that. And it is a 3.3. Again, we've seen that number at about a 4.1, hover at about a 4. The fact that it is down a little bit is encouraging. But again, we talk about this a lot. These storms can cycle, and tornadoes can go up in the clouds, take a break, then it's a funnel cloud, and then go a few miles, come back down to the ground, get caught in a what we call a downdraft, and that can push it back down to ground level, where then it is a tornado again. So Atoka 412, Munford at 410, Millington really pretty much within the next 10 minutes or less, and Wilson at 409. That's a different track. This is a good track here, downtown Memphis. You know, look, before 4 o'clock, Marion, the medical district, before 4 o'clock, Crosstown, the storm could slow a little bit, and so the minutes may change. That's the beauty, though, of the storm track that we are showing you. It updates on the fly, second by second, as the storm changes direction and speed. Active tornado warning if you're just joining us for downtown Memphis, for Bartlett, heads up here at the station, and Arlington, you're on the cusp of this. Millington, any part from Poplar, Highland, north, you really need to assume, well, you are in a tornado warning. I consider Poplar, Highland kind of the center of the city of Memphis, and by the U of M. Very near the U of M, and so within the 240 loop, and especially this northern leg here, where you go around to the flyover, you go the northern leg to downtown. Don't do it. I'm not saying do that, but I'm trying to give you a reference point of exactly where it is. And if there is a tornado, it is likely crossing the Mississippi River right now. Let's go back to that RDOT cam that was really giving us a good picture of what may be going on. Not the West Memphis, yes, thank you. This picture right here, this is live. You're looking live at a picture of I-40 and traffic going in and out of the city of Memphis, and people coming into Arkansas, which is amazing to me. This is not what you want to do. I am glad that at least on this view, we're seeing what we are seeing. And, you know, I'm also glad that we have not had confirmation. But there's a reason there is a warning issued. And our radar is indicating rotation. Maybe we can go back to the radar and put a shear rate on there without getting too. Go ahead, Danielle.
I'm sorry. I was trying to see how the winds are ahead of the storm as they approach the metro Memphis area. I know there's a lot of verbiage on your screen right now, so I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. You can see winds are moving at 41, 54, 56 miles an hour. And if we move up just a little bit north of that, right near Fraser, that's 62 mile an hour winds. This is all definitely capable of blowing down trees and power lines, and definitely causing some damage. So even if we're not looking at tornadoes, the winds are definitely very high with this system as it approaches the Midtown and Metro Memphis area. As we zoom in a little bit more, this is all part of the tornado warning here. You can see in the red, the background in the red behind John there. These are all the places that are in the tornado warning at this time. We have not had any confirmation of any funnel clouds or anything like that, but this thunderstorm is moving 70 miles an hour, and it can produce a tornado. So just please make sure that you are getting to your safe place. If you're not there, try to find the closest place possible to just shelter in place at this time. I'm also going to turn on our bearing button to see if we are seeing any kind of, yes, there we go. The purple, like we were saying earlier, the purple is for hail. So you may be even hearing some light pitter patter outside your window of hail outside. We're not seeing any major hail with this. This little purple right here, right next to Mumford, as we zoom in right there by Dean's Island, maybe larger hail there. Just make sure that you're being very weather aware, because we keep saying this over and over again. They're definitely, all of the weather threats are on the table for this system as it moves through. And there's an old wives' tale that tornadoes get to the Mississippi and die. That's not happening. So make sure that you're being very weather aware, okay, folks? I know Trevor has been working on some things as well. As these storms continue to approach, we are continuing to track this. And if you're just joining us by chance, there is a tornado warning for Memphis and Shelby County right now, and it has been extended. So just so you know that piece of information as well. Trevor?
Danielle, I want to do a couple of things pretty quickly, but if we could double box, if we have that RDOT camera of downtown Memphis and this, because I'm going to be more kind of talking through some updates. So we want to keep an eye on that camera just whenever you can. If we can get that double box ready, we can take it. Some good news. We always want to throw that out there. Mississippi County and Lauderdale County, they've been dropped from the tornado warning, but it still does include northern portions of Dyer County. Now, I will say the worst of the weather has moved out of Dyer County, and so that's why we're kind of talking about Memphis. A lot of folks feel like, hey, you're forgetting about us. I promise you we're not. We love everybody and we're keeping an eye on everything. We've got people behind the scenes watching stuff, making sure we don't miss something. But we're mainly focused right now on Memphis because that is where the most dangerous storm is located. And I want to reiterate, yes, there's a potential of a tornado. Most people are not going to see a tornado. Even if there is one, tornadoes are pretty small. Everybody is going to see damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, maybe some hail as this storm crosses over the river. Again, there's downtown Memphis. It is going to be there within the next moments. This track a little bit behind, but I can tell you that it's crossing the river right now. It's going to be on that camera in just a matter of minutes. Still several signs of rotation, and you see them showing up in green right along the Mississippi River. So this is now moving into the city of Memphis. This is for points downtown and north. So if you're in Millington, Raleigh, Fraser, Binghamton, into Nutbush and Berkeley, as well as Bartlett, downtown Memphis, even South Main, you're in the tornado warning. Areas to the south of that are not. Airport area, Whitehaven, DeSoto County, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning, and that's for the wind, and that's what we're more concerned about down there. But areas north of Sam Cooper, including downtown Memphis, that's where we've got that potential of a tornado. That includes Millington and even Shelby Forest, so that's something to keep an eye on. Again, I wanted to show you this too. This storm, it's nasty. Severe thunderstorm warning for Forest City and Mariana. It was showing some signs of rotation earlier. As of right now, no tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be moving into Metro Memphis too. Take a look at where this is going, that storm track. There's South Haven, DeSoto County downtown. So we might have a second round of storms that are going to pose another threat coming in soon. But really quickly, if you're in the tornado warning, interior room, lowest floor, away from windows, do not drive right now. Even if you're not in the warning, it's best to just stay off the roads.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
They just continued the tornado warning again for the Shelby County area. At 3:51, severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located near Fraser, or 7 miles south of Meeman, Shelby Forest State Park, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So I am going to clear this track off of our screen here. That's a good point that you made there, Trevor, because they are definitely tracking this thing pretty quickly. And I think that's where we saw the winds being around 62 miles an hour, if I'm correct.
And I also have a report of 2 miles northeast of Dyersburg of a semi where the hood was blown off and the door is blown off, but the driver is okay. That is preliminary. That occurred not too long ago, a few minutes ago, but there's some confirmed obviously issues from storms to our north. We're not forgetting about anybody. And I did notice that camera, the weather was getting worse as we took a look. Things were fine for a while, calm, but we said that it would get worse. And as you can see now, the camera, it shows the weather's bad. So things have gotten worse in downtown Memphis now. And Danielle was talking about Shelby Forest. That is in the extreme northern part of Shelby County along the Mississippi River, and that is perhaps where the tornado would be. Again, the good news, also got word from West Memphis personnel that they did not see anything at the time. That was good, but there's reason to keep this tornado warning going. And that's why, because the radar still suggests that we could have a tornado. And plus, as Trevor mentioned a minute ago, there's other activity behind this, on the heels of this, that could pose an additional threat to areas that are not currently in the tornado warning. But here's the absolute latest. Here's the track. If you're in any of these areas, go to your safe spot, take action now. Medical District, right over you right now. Crosstown within a matter of minutes. Overton Park, the zoo, 358. Binghamton, where near East High School is. East High School, gosh, there's a lot of stuff over there. Chickasaw Gardens, that's near Poplar Holland. That's near the U of M in that track right there. Binghamton, we're talking 6 minutes. Raleigh at 4:03, the northern leg of I-40 off Highway 14, better known as Austin P. Bartlett at 4:07, so a heads up here at the television station, the worst of the weather may be in about 13 minutes or so. The Wolf Chase area, Wolf Chase Mall, where Germantown Parkway and I-40 intersect right there. Also Highway 64, just a ton of businesses in the Wolf Chase area. 4:14, so about 20 minutes from now. Lakeland at 4:17 and Arlington at 4:21 as this nasty storm possibly producing a tornado comes into Shelby County. So that is the latest with this tornado warning. Danielle's putting on some of the winds here. Like I said, even if there is not a tornado on the ground, there are winds that can do damage. I do expect power outages. We have new tools and technology actually just within our last storm system that we have updated, and we can utilize those tools with the power outages. Just heads up in the booth now, guys, we do have a map that in our weather system that shows power outages and gives a little bit better look than the MLGW map. We can use both, but let's not do the MLGW map for now, but we will get to power outages in a second. Danielle, let's clear this now. Let's back it out a bit, and let's take a look at that other storm behind it. In fact, yeah, you read my mind. A 300-mile view here. Let's put it on the regular radar. You read my mind again. Thank you. Let's click on this storm track here south of Forest City because, again, this will be affecting metropolitan Memphis. There's another storm behind it. This is the one Trevor was talking about. This moving northeast at 45. And I want you to notice something. The tornado number is up. It's at a 4.3 now. So we're going to see if that's a trend. Even though it's not a tornado warning right now, it could become one. Palestine, 408, Forest City, 415, Caldwell at 419, Madison at 419, and Colt, Arkansas at 424. Just letting you know, that's a severe thunderstorm warning that could turn into a tornado warning, and it is headed toward metropolitan Memphis. And this is our rotation detector. We are detecting rotation, to be honest with you, a little bit more in our southern storms that are currently not under a tornado warning.
That happened last time, too.
Yeah, it sure did. You're exactly right. That happened last time. We were detecting rotation, and that's where a tornado occurred. In fact, Danielle went down there, an EF1 tornado just a couple of weeks ago, and I believe it was Panola County. Panola County.
Batesville, Mississippi.
They were not under a tornado warning at the time. They were under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why we're telling you, just because you aren't under a tornado warning doesn't mean a tornado is not coming toward you. We're detecting a lot of rotation south of this tornado warning. So if you're in DeSoto County, South Haven, southern Shelby County, State Line Road, Southwind, southeast Memphis, Hickory Hill, Hickory Ridge, where the old Mall of Memphis, American Way. Let's go to Trevor.
I was going to say, I think we've got some storm chaser video that we might be able to go to. Is that what we're seeing here, guys? Can we take that? Where is this at? Looks like downtown to me. I see the Steric building in the distance right behind the banner there. So this looks like it's going downtown. There's 100 North Main you see there. Driving off to the west, there's that looks like maybe Danny Thomas. I'm just kind of guessing here. That to me looks like maybe Madison and Danny Thomas. I'm throwing out a guess, but you can see the very heavy rain coming down. Let's stay on that and keep an eye on that. I want to talk about the power outages though too, because in Mississippi County, 3,000 customers without power right now, and that goes along with the report of damage we have out of Osceola. We had some bay doors that were blown in, those big garage doors blown in by the force of the wind. So that goes to show you, even if there is not a tornado, we're going to have very strong winds rolling through Shelby County. We're going to watch these outages because right now we have less than 1,000 folks without power in Memphis. We've had sporadic power outages through the day, but it does look like that number could be ticking up over the next little bit. Also about 1,000 customers without power in Cross County as well. So outages possibly going up. And as we were talking about, that second storm is moving in. We've got the heavy rain, the possible tornado in Memphis right now, but this second storm is really starting to concern me. It doesn't have a tornado warning on it right now, but it is really showing some signs of rotation, and that's going to be coming right into Marianna, eventually toward Hughes, possibly impacting Robinsonville and the casinos. And then this would be an issue for DeSoto County and southern Shelby County, southern portions of Memphis. So there's no tornado warning on this right now. I don't want to alarm you, but I do want to let you know that that's something we need to watch very carefully. Again, that is that second storm behind the one that's coming through Memphis right now. And we've got torrential rainfall, damaging winds, and some signs of rotation over Memphis. And this is I-40 and Watkins. This is up on the north leg, right where that storm is starting to move into. Let's take this full screen because there's too many folks driving, I can tell you that. We've been saying we don't want you on the roads right now because even if there's not a tornado, there might not be, there probably isn't. We don't have any signs of a confirmed tornado right now. There is 100% wind and there is 100% very heavy rain. So if you can let this pass, we might be in better shape. But we've got this second storm that honestly looks a lot meaner right behind it, John, that could cause some concerns for the Memphis Metro in the next 45 minutes to an hour. So we thought we were done with this one. And John, tell me what you think. It almost looks to me like this one might be weakening a little bit, and this one might be eating up some of the energy from the one over Memphis right now, making that back one even stronger as it moves into the city.
Trevor, that's what's going on. You're exactly right. Danielle, when you get a chance, if we could zoom out a little bit, I noticed a hook west of South Haven that is also worth mentioning right here. Sometimes when we see real-time radar imagery, the beginnings of a tornado in the sky, or at least a funnel cloud, are indicative of a signature like this west of Walls. So this is something to watch, a potential hook echo developing there. And as we slide south and west of that, the storm that Trevor was talking about, and I can tell you folks, it's, what is today? Tuesday, Wednesday, it's 2 weeks ago today, we had this same situation where our rotation detector was picking up a possible tornado, and the area that the rotation was in was under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's why we have to pay attention to that second cell that could become the dominant cell, if you will. Let's come back out, Danielle, if we could, and maybe click on some of these tracks here. Let's see what our tornado number is. It's at a 3, good. We like to keep it below a 4. That's what we want to do here. People in the path of this storm: Marianna at 404, Madison at 421, Widener at 423, Hughes, Arkansas, near Horseshoe Lake at about 427. And then this other one, Danielle, just for the heck of it, just to see the number of 3.8, that a little bit higher, our tornado index. Again, if you're just joining us, the scale goes from 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest threat, 10 being the highest. So far, we have remained at about a 4.2 or lower this afternoon. But also this storm that we're on is developing somewhat of a core here. What does that mean? Well, we're starting to see some pinks and purples, and those colors indicate really strong, well, actually severe thunderstorms. And when you see this purple color, you have to pay attention. And if a tornado is developing here, you're probably we're not going to get as many reports because it is likely rain wrapped. And that makes tornadoes, especially down here, more dangerous. Oftentimes we have rain-wrapped tornadoes and we have tornadoes at night. And so just because we're not receiving confirmation doesn't mean there's not one there. Oftentimes we don't get confirmation because they're rain-wrapped. And so this storm is one we have to watch. Let's go back to our rotation tracker. We're not going to forget about this storm here, but I do want to look at our rotation detector and maybe even, Danielle, a shear path if you get a chance. Sometimes I'm telling you, we got to watch this, folks, as these storms continue to get back into Crittenden County and southern Shelby County. this is a path of rotation. Oftentimes, that's a good sign that something's going on because it is occurring in a line and it has a history of rotation. And at the end of this severe thunderstorm warning, this was actually near the hook, the little mini hook west of South Haven. We have to watch that very carefully. So something important to point out. Danielle, let's go back to, I know you're busy, doing a lot of stuff, multitasking over there. I don't want to forget about the active tornado warning that we have here. Let's zoom in a little bit tighter. What is that camera?
It looks like.
Let's go to Trevor at the wall right now.
This is from moments ago in downtown Memphis. Sure does look to me like a funnel cloud. Right there, you can kind of see it. Might be a little better if we just take this full screen because this is some incredible video. What you're looking at, this is from Martyrs Park over on the river in downtown Memphis, looking west toward downtown. And you can see, I mean, it clearly looks like a funnel cloud. What you're seeing right below it is I-55 and the big river crossing over downtown. This clearly, it's rotating. It looks to me like a funnel cloud. Luckily, it does not appear that it touched the ground because that would have put it directly over downtown Memphis. But you can see right there, it's a short video, it's just on replay, but this was moments ago from Twitter user jbooth0722 over downtown Memphis, possible funnel cloud, and that's what we're dealing with as these storms move across the area.
And the interesting thing is, no doubt about it, a funnel cloud. The interesting thing is, we would be able to see, that was right over the Mississippi River, and if it was a tornado, we literally, folks, would have seen a water spout. On the Mississippi River, we would have seen water rotating. I've seen it one time before, a water spout as a tornado over water, but that was literally close to being a water spout, a funnel right on top of the Mississippi River. This incredible video there of a funnel cloud. So, hey, we've got our own confirmation now. Trained meteorologists here in the TV station, our studio, are saying, look, that was a funnel cloud. So we have confirmation from our very own eyes and that video of a funnel cloud that passed over the Mississippi River. Did not look from the video as if it had made it to ground level. If it had, we'd have had a water spout, but no. Thankfully not. But that was some scary video, no doubt about it. All right, there's still the possibility of hail here. We could take that video off, guys, if we could. Yeah, thank you. Here's Bartlett right here. There's Millington. Danielle is tracking hail now, and hail is often part of a thunderstorm that can produce a tornado. So it's important to track the hail. Let's see what this shows. Right here along Highway 51, that storm track, just to get our tornado index. So look, what we have, basically, that tornado number was at a 4.0, and we had a funnel cloud. So we know if it's a 4 or higher, the rest of the afternoon going forward, we've got to take this seriously. This is at a 3.3 right now. Let me give you a quick update and track on this one that we're watching. Millington at 413, Munford at 422, Atoka. Fans of Atoka, we love you. Thank you for watching us as always. 424, Gilt Edge at 428, Brighton at 428, Burleson at 430, Garland at 433, and Covington in the path of this at about 435. So you have some lead time. We're giving you lead time. We go back to the regular radar of this active tornado warning. Not to be forgotten is a storm to the south and west, but we know that this storm has produced a funnel. At least we believe firmly that it has. From video we have seen, our own analysis and trained eyes, as Trevor was mentioning, that was definitely rotating. It was a funnel cloud right over the Mississippi River. So what can happen, sometimes those can go back up in the clouds and then they can move a few miles, and then that funnel can drop back down and become a tornado. And if it is Rosemark, it's likely on top of you right now. That would make sense considering the track and time, and considering that it went over the Mississippi River minutes ago, and now our rotation detector is, Danielle, perfect map here. This is, if there is a tornado, it's probably in between Bolton and Rosemark. Rosemark is about as far northeast in Shelby County as you can get before we start to move in other adjacent counties, Fayette County, Tipton County, and Haywood County. So that's about as far north and east as you can get in Shelby County. So we're talking about the northeastern areas of Shelby County. Back it out a little bit if you don't mind, Danielle. One thing that Trevor was talking about a few moments ago, look, Germantown, Collierville, southeast parts of Shelby County are not in this warning. And you may say, well, I'm hearing sirens going off at my house. What's going on? The system is not perfect. And everybody, all officials and media, all of us are working to make that a better system. Let's go to Danielle. Danielle.
Yeah, so John, one thing that we are noticing with this is it continues to track to the east. They just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County, Fayette, and Tipton counties as well. This storm is moving around 60 miles an hour, and it's, just some radar indicated rain and hail with this as well. The thing that we want to show you is that even though you're not part of that polygon for the tornado warning, that does not mean that you're in the clear at all. This system is continuing to push east, and like we said about that storm that's in Arkansas, as it continues to train, we could see some more warnings for Shelby County as well. So if we take the radar really quickly, we can see that it was
and they
right
do
here.
mention tornado possible in that
Yes,
warning.
tornado possible with this new warning as well. So we could see these upgraded. Some of these yellow boxes, I'll draw a line for you to see right in here. Whitehaven and South Haven is moving towards Germantown and Collierville and Olive Branch. All of those places, you could see this thing upgraded to a tornado warning. You just need to make sure that you're in your safe place at this time. We're going to put the Barron button back on there, and we do see this thing is producing a little bit of hail along the leading edge of the storm as it continues to push to the east. We haven't seen any huge shear rate paths, but it's definitely something we need to keep our eye on. So this warning may expire, but there's more shear with this,
absolutely.
especially right here in the Bartlett area. So like John was saying earlier, if you are in our studio, I would definitely be very mindful of where you are in the building at this time. Let me put another track on this storm here for the continued the severe thunderstorm warning, and this is all in Gibson and Obion, so just north of where those tornado warnings were earlier. Here's another track though for the tornado warning storm in Shelby County. We'll put it on right around here, and it's moving about 50 miles an hour, and there you go there. So Wolf Chase, Lakeland, Shelby Farms, Arlington, Galloway, Oakland. Within the next 15 to 20 minutes, you guys need to go ahead and be in your safe place if you're not already there. Like John was saying, you can definitely anticipate hearing the sirens all across Shelby County. So that means go ahead and get in your safe place. These thunderstorms are capable of producing tornadoes. We have not heard any confirmation or gotten any notifications from the National Weather Service that there has been, but this is for the metro Shelby County area. Also, a lot of people may still be at work. We saw all those people driving around. They might be trying to get back home, but it's definitely something that we need to keep our eye on. I'm looking like right here in Lakeland. It's a little bit close there with that velocity. So it's definitely something to keep our eye on, John.
No doubt about it. And why don't we do this? Let's go back to the regular radar, and let's put a track also as we slide southwest of the possible rotation that could be occurring, the area that was headed toward Germantown, Collierville. And look,
They
DeSoto
extended
County.
that polygon there.
Okay, so that warning has been extended. DeSoto County, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, Lewisburg.
And this is all for that storm that we were talking about with the shear rate that was in it earlier this afternoon.
Exactly. Why don't we, and what is that new warning? What do they have those cells moving at?
This severe thunderstorm warning is moving around, let's see, 60 miles an hour.
60 miles an hour. So why don't we, all right, so we've got the one warning here. Then we've got this area of concern here.
Right.
Why don't we put a track along the leading edge of that new warning and track it out at those numbers that you were showing, so we can give everybody an updated track of this other storm that could produce a tornado. Here we go. Horn Lake at 4:15, South Haven at 4:16. So we're talking about right now. Germantown at 4:20, 6 minutes from now. The Lander Center at 4:21. Again, any of the areas that I'm calling out, look, there could be a tornado at any point, even though right now we don't have one confirmed, thankfully. The Southwind area in southeast Memphis at 4:23. Unincorporated Southwind, Wind Dyke area at 4:23, where the TPC, where they play the golf tournament, which is now in August. Which is going to be hot, most likely. Snowden Grove at 4:23. A lot of you know where that is. Concerts occur there. 4:24 in Coldwater, Mississippi. The Micro Soccer Complex, which is just south of Southwind. In fact, it's almost in Mississippi. But the Micro Soccer Complex, a huge complex where athletic events take place, not just soccer, and also Pleasant Hill at 4:25. So those areas are going to be affected in the next 10 minutes. This is our TDOT SmartWay camera. Help me out, guys. Exactly where? Okay, I-40 in Hollywood, so the northern part of our 240 loop. Heavy rain and too much traffic.
Yeah, a lot of traffic out
there. Way too much traffic. At least we don't have any confirmed reports of funnel clouds since the one that we saw from Twitter that Trevor caught, as he is so good at doing, catching stuff on social media, the expert, no doubt about it, finding visuals to relay to you. Haven't had any confirmed since then, but if we can just get this out of Metro Memphis within the next 25 to 30 minutes, things are going to be getting better.
Good news. Tornado warning expired. They didn't cancel it, but it did expire.
That is excellent news. So we can say now that for Shelby County, there is no longer an active tornado warning. Several alerts and warnings still going that can produce tornadoes. Why don't we go back real quick just to a 300-mile view and reset. I like to do that a lot of times. And one thing that I'm not seeing also is any storms developing out ahead of this main line. This is what we were concerned. It can still occur, but we're not seeing any what we call discrete supercells. Those are the ones that produce strong EF2, 3, 4 tornadoes and stay on the ground for a long period of time. That could still happen, but we're not seeing that, which is excellent news. This is the main line right here that contains wind, and there could at any point be embedded circulations. Am I correct in saying that there are no longer any active tornado warnings for our area? Yeah, it looks like it's all severe thunderstorm warnings, which is good. That's good news, but still some heavy activity back in Forest City that's going to be going over areas that haven't seen a lot, the casinos in Tunica, by the way, and again, this line pushing east, and the threats will shift east over the next half hour or so. Let's go to Trevor.
John, let's take that video full screen again. For those of you who might have just missed it, all tornado warnings have been allowed to expire, but moments ago, we had a funnel cloud, or what appears to me to be a funnel cloud, right over downtown Memphis. Take a look at this. This is from Twitter user jbooth0722. And the vantage point you're looking at, this is from Martyrs Park over there by the Big River Crossing, looking over to West Memphis. So that bridge you can see right at the bottom of your screen, those are the three bridges. The old bridge, I-55, and the Big River Crossing is right there. Now, to me, it looks like this has a little bit of spin in it. So that's why I'm a little more comfortable in saying I do believe this was a funnel cloud. It doesn't look like a touchdown. If it did, thank God it didn't. It would have been right over downtown Memphis. That's where this video was taken from. But it sure does look to me some sort of a lowering, likely a funnel cloud. This was just before 3:50 in downtown Memphis. I did want to give everybody just kind of a wide view of what is going on, because there is a lot going on around the area. And of course, we also have those power outages. A quick update of those. Nearly 3,000 customers without power in Mississippi County, Arkansas. That number in Shelby County slowly ticking up to about 1,500. And then several counties reporting power outages over in eastern Arkansas. Again, right now, no tornado warnings, but we still have a concern for damaging wind gusts, which unfortunately, if the ingredients are there, can do just as much damage as a tornado. And we've got that second line of storms that's likely going to be moving into at least the southern portion of the Memphis metro area within the next few minutes. And you know, that's got a severe thunderstorm warning on it right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm looking at the rotation detector right now. I mean, this thing has a lot of rotation down here, and it's right.
Let's go to links 1.
Right, at links 1. This is the same place that we were talking about in Mariana. Am I saying that right? Mariana?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more, just in case you're in this area, because this thing is looking like, there we go. It's looking like we could possibly see some kind of rotation or something going on down there. I'm going to go to velocity. There we go. Yeah. I don't know, John. What do you think there?
I do. I want to give it several more scans, but I think you're onto something.
Yeah, because that's at least the third or fourth scan where we saw.
Yes, and it's getting brighter.
Yes.
It's getting brighter.
And then if I look at the Barron button, there's the shear right there, even with the Barron button.
Okay, so we've got a new track for you, and we've been watching a new area. And Hughes, Arkansas, which is near Horseshoe Lake, there's some potential rotation headed your way here in about 12 minutes. And so this is a little bit farther south, Edmondson, Arkansas at 448. Again, Walls, Mississippi at 449. The map, boy, the rain is coming down. The map, this threat tracker, is a great map because it takes all of the different threats, combines them into one area, and shows where the worst of the weather could be. Also, the map that Trevor was showing, the power outage map, new technology that we have here that our station uses to bring you better severe weather coverage and just more exclusive coverage that can give you better information. So with our power outage map, we're able to track power outages, not just in Shelby County and show you power outages in Shelby County, but counties all across the Mid-South at one time. And that provides better information for you. And so we continually work to get our technology better each and every day and improve with time. But no doubt about it, Danielle, that is an area of concern and something we need to watch, and it'll be interesting to see as we go along. This is an important number here, our tornado index. If it goes up, hey, we know it's a trend, and there's a higher risk of a tornado. If it goes down, that's good too. So we're sitting at a 3.4. And I firmly believe that was a funnel cloud with the video Trevor was showing.
Yeah,
I saw
NWS has
rotation.
actually said that was a funnel cloud.
I mean, it's